with that, Mahesh, your remarks, please.
Want me to go there or here? Okay. Here, wait out. I don't have any presentation. You can blank it out. You can. Okay. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My apologies first to come late. I know that is one of the challenges of getting electric here. I was with the electric mobility group meeting because recently Government of India has announced a scheme called FAME 2. It was so urgently released that to institutionalize it in from 1st of April, there are plenty of action needed to be done by the industry, policymakers, certifying agency, without which we see a gap of at least 1 month now in sale of electric vehicles. So my apologies for that. Okay, I've been asked to talk about what are all the challenges in electric vehicle. I've been always seeing opportunities, but I would like to show you some opportunity and challenges so that we can see what India is looking at. I don't have a presentation, so I'm going to speak from my heart because we are the one as Mahindra, we have run about 100 million of electric kilometers in India as of today. We are the pioneers. And based on that experience, I can share with you what are all the typical challenges. So I will basket between a personal use and a commercial use. Why government is talking about commercial and not personal use. The technology by electric is today, acquisition cost is very high when compared to a regular cars because of the energy which is a battery being plugged into the car while we are selling rather than getting filled like a fuel which is over a period of time. So the challenge right now is for a personal users, if he or she is spending a lot of money to buy the vehicle yearly, unless he or she runs a lot of time, you are not going to recover the money because the running cost of the electric is low, that unless you run a lot of kilometers, you are not going to get the cost of ownership or total cost of ownership down. So the challenge for personal use on electric mobility is we as personal users buy some fancy cars, park it on the garage and we don't use them. That's the biggest challenge. Let's come to commercial use. We have about 1,000 vehicles running on fleet operations in Bangalore, Delhi and let us say Pune, between the 3 big cities, and all of them are commercially viable. So these cars, what typically they do is they pick employees from home and office and home daily on a 3 shift, particularly in the IT sector. So the asset utilization is so high, they run minimum 200 kilometers a day to a maximum of 270 to 300 kilometers a day. So what it happens is that you are utilizing the electric asset so much, the running cost is so low that you are able to take back the money you have invested on an electric car within 3 years. And hence commercially electric vehicle is viable. So what does it make sense for us is India as a country is having a huge oil import. We have challenges in energy distribution, not generation, and we have 12 out of 20 cities in which are polluted, and hence how does it make sense in commercial application? Why Government of India is saying that we need to do commercial application is very simple. It is, I would call it a triple whammy application. If you put an electric car on a fleet like Ola, Uber or employee commute, they consume lot of oil because they run more, and hence your oil import bill comes down if an electric is put on that application. 2, they are running more and hence they generate more pollution in the city. So that's taken out by the electric vehicle, and if they run more, they become economically viable. So we will have to look at applications where electric vehicle are more fit and do it rather than just saying we will have 50% application of electric vehicle, we will do this, we will do that. We are not a country which can afford to invest a lot on capex like many of the developed or western countries. They can put a 50 lakh worth fast charger and ask it to wait for the whole day to charge for 2 cars, but the same thing cannot be applied to India. India is a very, very cost sensitive market, either it is services or buying a car or anything, and hence India needs to utilize the asset, whether it is money or a capex, in a very, very prudent way, and fleet application makes a very, very prudent sense. Now what are all the challenges in fleet? The challenges in fleet is first believability. Most of them don't believe it's working. So, um, Sika madam has talked about 50% of the electric vehicle already converted in Bescom. I think she is the brand ambassador doing in Karnataka, asking all Karnataka governments to go to electric, and she is struggling along with us to convince them how to do it. While Karnataka is the first state to get into policy. What is good thing is happening, I can tell you, is after the central government has announced policy on electric, there is a competition between state governments. So, any new technology, by and large, it is understood that electric technology is the future, and hence state governments are looking at investment related to electric new technologies, because the auto industry is kind of matured and aligned to few states, and if some new states wants to get into investment, they are getting into new technologies like electric vehicle, and hence they are coming up with EV policies. Since I have 2 minutes left, I will not go deep into it. Now come to what happens in the grid. I think there is a fantastic saying that ABB has announced a 3 minutes fast charger, somebody has announced 1 minute fast charger. It's beautiful technological marvels. I appreciate it. Now what happens to India? We just, for our example in Nagpur, many of you would have known Ola project. Somebody will say it is successful, somebody will say it is unsuccessful. I can tell you it is both. It is a successful project, but unsuccessfully perceived. The cars which have run, for example, we have put about 70 to 100 cars there. The 100 cars have been given on a lease to all Ola drivers, with the condition that anytime they feel the car is not giving them value, they can return it. Not even one driver have returned it till now. So, I would say it is successful. It has run about 40 lakh kilometers, and hence saved a lot of money in last 1.5 years, and hence it is successful. But what is the learning is, we made a mistake of going and putting a charging station like a petrol pump. You went and put 4 or 5 charging station of 15 kilowatt in one area, the grid started falling off. The people next to the houses come and started complaining about low voltages tripping off and so on and so forth. I think we are misunderstanding electric mobility or electric ecosystem to petrol, because petrol and diesel are combustible products. You are not supposed to keep at home. So, it is being allowed to kept at a station, and we ask the asset like car to go and charge there. So, we are trying to impose that on an electric vehicle, which is electricity is available everywhere. You don't need to go to any place to charge. You can charge at home, you can charge at parking, you can charge it anywhere. So, my suggestion is, it is the awareness we have to go and tell how to adapt a new technology in the new ecosystem, not in the old ecosystem. I think that if it is done by the grid people, I think it will help a lot, because all that you need is, your car is parked many times in your own parking lot, you need a plug there to charge, as simple as that. So, with that, I think my time is out. I don't want to waste your time. Thank you very much for giving an opportunity, and have a good day.
Appreciate it, Mahesh. It's always very insightful when you speak, especially considering the awareness that's absolutely necessary, and the role that the utilities can play with the existing relationship they have with the customer is very critical. Ensuring that the mobility transition can happen in India as well.